Hi, I'm Michael Hartstonge. I'm a Southland Fish Game Councillor. I've been asked by your staff if I can just run through a few tips to try and help you improve your shooting success. So if you want to shoot ducks well, there's two really important fundamentals to make sure you're doing. That's head on the gun, eye on the target. To do that, you need to have a gun that fits you. We're lucky these days, most of the modern guns come with shim kits. So if the gun doesn't fit you, you can alter it. So you can alter them for sideways, for cast, down there, or you can alter the drop of the comb. What you want to have it is that when you mount the gun, there's no adjustment of the head required. Your eye's looking straight down the rib. If you're looking down on top, the gun's going to shoot high and over the top of the ducks. So get that gun set up how you want it. Make sure it mounts nice and well. I'd also recommend put your hunting jacket on. If you're like me and you've got a thick heavy set hunting jacket, that can alter the gun fit. So put that on, chuck your duck calls on, make sure things are free and unrestricted so you get the best chance of mounting the gun without having to alter things mid-shot. The other thing to think about is the distance you're likely to be shooting your ducks. A lot of people are pretty bad at estimating the range that they're doing. If you're shooting on a pond, pace out the width of the pond, then go out to the pattern board, set up for that maximum distance you're intending to shoot, get your given load and select a choke, fire a shot at the pattern board, and then go count the numbers. As you can see here, we've got a really good spread, nice coverage over the pattern sheet. What I like to do, get a marker and I'll draw a circle around each hole. For me that helps to know which ones I've counted, but also adds a bit more visibility to how the shots are placed on the pattern board. I'll then go through and I'll total each section and then add them up the end to see how we're going versus the recommendations down here. This is a really good dense pattern. Obviously down here we've got the minimum recommendations for a good clean kill, 90 to 95 pellets. If we're using 3s, that's probably most likely what we'd get. With this I've just used Falcon 4 as a standard load used across New Zealand. It's a very, very good pattern we've got here. There's no ducks flying through this one. This is the sort of pattern you get a good clean kill. This was just with a normal factory choke, improved cylinder, 30 metres. There's two main methods employed by most hunters. The first one's swing through. With swing through, you start with negative lead, you start behind the bird, track through the bird, follow the line, as you're coming through the beak, pull the trigger, keep the gun moving. The second method, and this is the one that I use, is sustain lead. Now this in effect, it's similar to swing through in that you're tracking the bird, however you're tracking the bird before you mount the gun. So for me, that involves following the bird along the line, bring the gun in front of the bird, and mounting the gun in one motion and squeezing the trigger. When it comes to working out your lead, there's no script for how to determine the lead. All the ducks are going to be different. The angle of the duck, whether it's a true crosser or whether it's quartering away from you or coming towards you, that'll change things. Is the duck going sideways full speed? Is it coming in and slowing down with its wings cupped up? In which case there's a tendency to shoot too far in front. Or is the duck flying away like a jump shooting shot? Really that comes down to experience and practice. With the sustained lead method I find your subconscious brain seems to determine that lead and you instinctively place the gun in the right location. Probably the last thing I'll talk about is things you can do to improve your chances in the maimai. One thing we see too often is 5 guys in a maimai, all tightly squeezed in. The duck comes in, the closest guy to the duck starts shooting before everyone else. What I'd suggest, if you're in that situation, you've got ducks that keep coming from left to right, make it the guy on the right hand side decision to when to call the shot. The guy on the left starts shooting the tail ducks, the guy on the right shoots the front ones, the guys in the middle shoot the middle ducks. Too often when guys go into that type of scenario, all the guns are emptied, it turns out they're all shooting at the same duck. A little bit of strategy around how you tackle the ducks that come in, who's going to shoot which ones, that'll improve your success no end. Another really important thing, if you've done things well, you've got a flurry of ducks coming in, you've got 10 ducks coming in, cupped up nicely. Too often people are, before they've even shot the first one, they're moving the gun to the second one. Identify which duck you're going to shoot, watch it fall, move to the second duck. That's really going to help. One thing our rangers see often when they come visiting maimais, a lot of maimais set up to not help the shooter out in terms of the best opportunity to shoot the duck. They've got really small openings, roof overhangs which stop people shooting a duck above them, or scrub that's built up to here that you've really got to stretch over to get your gun in the position. Have a good size opening, make sure you're not limiting yourself by the way you've set your maimai up. If the ducks land on the far side of the pond, and they've traditionally done that, and you think about moving your maimai. Don't just leave your maimai there because it's always been there. Have your maimai set up so that you're set for success. So it's really hard in a small video like this to teach you how to shoot a shotgun. If you want to get some good instruction, get better at duck hunting and duck shooting, I'd thoroughly recommend joining your local clay target club. There's some good coaches there, good variety of targets, and you'll learn the basics.